Okay, so we're going right now on the streets of Instagram.
Okay.
And basically, there is this post that this man, his name is Joseph Brendan.
Okay.
And he makes this post. I don't know if it's on Twitter or if it's, but I found it on Instagram. And this is what he says. If you're a Nigerian woman, make sure you are stubborn. I have not seen a Nigerian woman who made it to the top of anything without being stubborn. Stop shining teeth always. Learn stubbornness. I have seen it firsthand with my sisters.
Yeah.
The society always gave them what's theirs because them know they laugh with you. Consciously and unconsciously, most Nigerian men do not see you as being capable over them. It's your duty to use stubbornness and remind them that you are more capable when you are. Shine teeth when necessary, bone face when necessary, or else you go suffer like back of sleeper. What do you think about that?
Oh my goodness. I love this topic because I've heard it so many times. I'm very stubborn. Yes, very, very stubborn. Now, coming from a household where you are to be in your parents' house until you get married. And I told my parents, I want to get my own place. My parents live here in Abuja, not even far. But I said, I don't want to stay in the house. This place is small for me. I need to think. I need to breathe. I need my privacy. I need to grow. Yes. I want to enjoy independence before I get married and be under the authority of a man, my husband, right? And it was like, no, never. It never happened. I was like, okay, I'll go through another route. When I was done with school, I stayed at home because I didn't, get going to NYC immediately. I stayed for 2 years during lockdown and all of that. 2 years. When it was time, they were trying to walk it to Abuja. I was doing my own workings. We were walking to Abuja. I was walking to, I said, even if it's Meduguri, I'm going. I don't want to stay in Abuja. I'm tired. When I was in university, they made sure I stayed in the hostel. I had uncles. It was my state university. I had uncles, aunties. I had relations literally in my face. There was no privacy all the time. They even wanted me to leave, like attend lectures from my uncle's house. Why? Like, make it make sense. So I stayed in the hostel. I had my sisters in the same room with me. So, I never got to experience life on my own. Like, me, nobody familiar. It's just, I made conscious efforts, to make sure I break out of that box. So my mom had to beg because the SAR was very serious. I said, even if it's Meduguri, let me go there. I don't care. They had to beg me and say, okay, fine. You know what? Just go to Kefi. So we're close. And that's how I did my NYC in Kefi. I served in Kefi. After serving in Kefi, my sisters told me that I brought independence to them. I gave them a little bit of freedom. Once it's 6 o'clock, my dad locks the gate. Yes.
So if you're out,
Just be there like that. Just stay there. The way they will call you. You might leave the house like 2 p.m. just to hang out with your friends. By 5, they're calling you, 6 o'clock, we're clocking this. You think it's a joke. 6 o'clock, the gate is locked. But when I went to Kefi, and then they'll tell me, come now. I'll intentionally stay late and come home like 10, 11 p.m. They're missing me. They want to see me. So obviously, they open the gate for me. And subsequently, my sisters will go out and come back 7, 8, 9. So I got my place, and all of that after my service. And now my immediate has gotten a place.
Wow.
So you see what stubbornness does. When I was doing all this, it was like, you are the black sheep of this family. You are this, you are that. Now I run 2 businesses. I do my, videos, my content creation. I can't do that at home. Where is the space? I can't. Imagine you're doing a video and then one is calling you, come and warm something or come and pick something. But this one is just me in my space. If you call me, are you at home? If I want to. If I say I'm not at home, will you beat me? Will you know?
Exactly.
So this is just something very relatable. There's a wide range of instances. Like where I served, they don't travel with women. In the midst of men, I'm the only woman. The first time it happened, I told my boss that I'd like to travel with them. He's like, no, we don't like to travel with women. We don't want their wahala. I'm like, I won't stress you. Just leave me. Just free me. Like, what if we go to some places and then we need to pay? I'm like, just take me. I will pay for the room myself if that's the problem. And then they started taking me subsequently like that. That's how I travel back to back now. So you see, you just need to
Don't submit. Yeah, you have to push. Yeah, push for. If you want something, you have to go for it.
Don't when they say no, don't listen to no, it has never happened. Be the first.
Yeah.
There's always a first person. If you want this thing, even if it's even if they say you can't attend this thing except you're like 40 and you're 25 and you think you can get it, please go for it.
So for it,
It might tarry, but you will definitely get
you definitely get it.
That's what stubbornness does.
Stubbornness comes from a very, very aggressive place. Like, you understand where I'm coming from. But one thing is, when you're too stubborn, in a way, it makes you lose your femininity. And femininity as a woman still has to stay in check. Do you understand me? So that, like, you remain soft, calm, and good, and all of that. So I won't really, really, really say, just know how to be assertive. Yeah, be assertive and know what you want and go for it. Don't listen to people like me. I'm an only child. I'm an Igbo girl.
Aha.
And I live alone. So it's my mom, my parents have a house, Abuja, but like I moved out of the house. So when you think of that dynamic, you're like, people ask me, how do you do it? Like, why are you not home? And I'm like, I'm built for something that is bigger than me.
Exactly.
And bigger than this environment and bigger than this space. Do you understand where I'm coming? Where so is I knew what I wanted. I said it to my parents. They were like, I'm like, okay. Anyway, I didn't say any, like, this kind of, oh, I'm gonna go. I carry my bags. Nah, I didn't even do that. When it was time for me to move, I said, my friend, she has another room because I was already hustling how to make it happen. Like, whether you said it or you didn't, I didn't have to get to that point where I have to start arguing back and forth. I'm not gonna do that. So literally, like I think that's even where the stubbornness comes from. Like, that's that radical stubbornness where you're not even trying to be aggressive.
Yeah.
But then I'll still come back to the lesson I learned, but let me just explain my own story. Okay. So I did what I wanted to do. And when it was time, I said, I found somebody, I'm moving. I was like, I'm moving. She didn't listen at first. I was like, okay. I took what I said, I'm going for a few days. My friend's place. I saw what I needed, like the basics. And she's a girl like me, so I could always share clothes with her till I started buying my own stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't have properties. I already had my clothes and my phone. So I moved to my friend's place first. When my mom saw I was serious, she now had to come there to meet my friend and say, oh, nice place. Okay. She said she was like, literally, she saw that I'm talking something. This one is doing another thing.
Exactly.
And you know that at this point, they have to come to the realization that she's an adult.
Exactly.
And she has to make her own
Everything, yeah.
And if you try to push too much, you might eventually lose the child. The child will just not want to tell you anything again. So I think my mom became particularly smart at that particular time. And she was like, okay, I have to follow this girl accordingly.
Yeah,
Or else I
was just this girl, yeah.
So she was like, okay, so this was, okay, instead of you coming to stay this far, I have a friend's place that they have just a room and parlor for you to go and stay. So that's how I was staying there before eventually I started to work, make my own money, and then move to my own apartment.
Yeah.
A trip. It was a long, the story in between there is a long, but I want to forget all about it. Anyway, all I'm saying, I moved to and that was like quiet stubbornness, like radical stubbornness. I don't, like, you're talking, I'm listening, but I'm going to do what I want to do. You understand? So I don't lose touch with my femininity. I'm not coming here to come and be rah 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 with you. Like, we're not about to do that. So basically, we did that. I did that. And now one thing I noticed is when I was not being so assertive, like my business place now, I had to fire one of my staff recently.
Okay.
And why did I fire this girl? I had to realize that I was being too nice. I wasn't being assertive with her. I was being really, really nice.
Yeah.
Now, it's still, this stubbornness thing, it still takes in the same conversation where they say, nice girls finish last. You finish last in relationship, finish last in society, you finish last in family. Like, you become like the bench. Like, everybody just wants to ride on you, walk all over you, and just use you. You understand? So, like, when you're actually being really, really nice, like a good human being should be, and be very, very kind to people, they tend to take that as naivety or stupidity. You understand where I'm coming from? So I had a staff who had destroyed something of my in my business, in my store. And when it was time for her to be remorseful, she wasn't. And I could tell why, because what did she go do?
Exactly. What would she do?
She's always nice. She's always smiling. She's always, oh, did you? So I'm guessing at this particular point, she kind of just thought, you spoiled it. Why did you spoil it? I guess that's what, like, she needed my reaction to be. But she was quite shocked when I was like, just drop your things and leave my slap. You understand? Like, I didn't want to see her anymore. And I'm sure it would have come as a shock to her because that was not the kind of reaction that she was expecting. And one good thing I like about myself is when you've had it up to here, it's gonna be like you don't even exist anymore. Cause like once that switch just comes on, it's like, this person doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But you're going back to that conversation. Like, radical stubbornness has to come from a place where, especially as a woman, men can do the ra 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 ra.
Yeah.
Their genes is in their blood is in whatever. But as a woman, you have to be radically smart and stubborn, but not lose your feminine essence.
So yeah, I was going to talk on that. I was able to, put my foot down and say, I'm not going to be in Abuja with you guys. And they had to beg me to stay close because I paid my dues. Like I said, when they said, oh, you will go to your state university, I was like, okay, fine. I was not happy, but I did. You will stay in the hostel. I said, okay. Now, they're not with me. And even though I had uncles and aunties all around me, I could still stay off campus and run this thing. But I still stayed, right? My siblings came, sibling, just one of them, came and we stayed together. When I was done with school, during the lockdown and the time before I went for NYC, I stayed at home. I hardly went out. I remember times my parents would be like, don't you have friends? Go out, and all of that. Socialize. So they know this girl is well trained. Because they always be like, girls, when you get your own place, you'll be going out late, come back with men, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all these years I've been with you guys. How many men
have you seen me?
How many times have you seen me on phone calls and doing all these night calls and whatever? You know the child you gave birth. You know the child you've raised. So they were able to let me go, release. The mistake most women make is wanting to prove stubbornness, want to be independent without giving them reasons to let you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can they trust you? You are under their roof and then by midnight you're not at home. We don't know where you are. You are sneaking and doing funny things.
You cry by one day, you get pregnant. I still feel like people who do that, they still learn. I mean, they make their mistakes.
They learn the hard way.
They have to, although you have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And you make that mistake.
Exactly. Just when I got my place and my parents came to pray for the place, I was so happy. We all need our parents' blessings, So while you're doing this stubbornness thing and what you're doing with, just like you said, do it smartly, do it, be very strategic.
Articulate, yes.
Exactly. And then you want to stay alone. Are you working? Are you running business? What's your plan? After a year, before you know it, a year is gone. What's your plan to renew your rent? And all of that. So they knew I was capable. I am capable. They're like, okay, now we can actually let this girl go and pay your dues. Act right. Don't give them reasons to doubt or fear or, and all of that. My dad said proudly, oh, my daughter has her own place. He'll be telling his friends. They'll be calling me, we heard you, with pride. Because they've seen over time that this is who she is. Exactly. Play your part. And then when you're stubborn, who understand your stubbornness, they'll respect your stubbornness.
Yeah, and I think women in corporate spaces who feel like they have to claim power or they have to like state their presence, try as much as possible not to let society and the people take away your feminine essence and make you banter words, go back and forth. Whatever you want to do, be assertive about it. This is what I want and this is what I get. I'm not about to raise my voice at anybody. I'm not about to start yelling. I'm not about to go back and forth.
I'm so sorry to cut you short. Yeah, it's a really tricky place to be. Being assertive and being feminine at the same time, especially for a woman. I have struggled with this for a very long time. As somebody that likes to be very independent, I have friends that'll tell me, allow you're a woman, allow yourself, bring up that. I've had, even 2 days back, my friend was talking to me. And she was like, Annabelle, tone down small.
That's tone down your masculinity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tone it down. Because in the corporate space, I have fought with men not like literally, but it's things that I've been able to achieve, right? It's through blood and sweat. They never wanted to give me that opportunity. And then when they see you go for it and see you shine, it's a problem. You are automatically an enemy.
And then
They'll tell you you're rubbing shoulders with us. You're a woman, no, calm down, no, so that you can stay in husband's house and all of that. So I was so much in this thing that I lost it. Yeah, I almost lost myself as a woman. That feminine side, was really lacking.
yeah.
That's why I say it's a very tricky place to be.
I actually relate with you. I actually relate so much with you because I've also been in situations like I'm a musician. I'm in a male dominated field where it's kind of expected for you to want to let your masculinity shine so that you can stand amongst the other people.
Exactly.
You understand? But right now, I'm learning so much that it actually I'm learning so much about the power that femininity has.
Yeah.
And now femininity was the way I moved out of my parents' house. Like I did not do gra gra. I just did what I wanted to do. It's called being stoic.
Okay.
So I'm learning it's a you stoic, yes, stoic, like STOIC. Like it's called being stoic. Like you know what you want to do, and this is what I'm gonna do. So it's easy for people to want to trigger you.
Yeah.
Now, when you get low to their level, is when you allow them trigger you. Like when someone is trying to trigger me,
Yeah.
and most of the times I ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
I might have some words to say. I'll keep it down, tone it down, and even if I'm gonna say something to you, it's gonna have you second guessing yourself. Like
Exactly.
so just
Do you understand?
and the way I'll even say it to you, you'll be like you won't even have anything to say back. So it's actually something you have to learn.
Yeah.
But it's just being extremely stoic. And they're like, does this guy even have emotions? He'll be like, do you understand where I'm here? So I'm like,
Yeah.
and after saying it to you, I'll be like, yeah. But you made a point, yeah. But then as I already said, done what I wanted. Yeah. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So like, I don't think you should, because once you're in that energy, you're like, you now become more masculine and you're like, da, 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 da. You get where I'm coming from? When you're able to like, I'm a woman, I'm not gonna do this with you. Like, this is what I want. Because they tend to feel like, oh, we are emotional beings. So stick to her emotions. You want a husband, you want a husband man, you want this. They try to like lure you in those emotional doors and everything. But you have to be stoic. You even have to be stubborn in your like in your relationships. But not necessarily not like stubborn to the point where you don't respect your man. Yeah, because when you're with someone who is looking to manipulate you, if you are not a woman that knows your stand, exactly, more you don't go until you're gone. Like you're gone. So I think at the end of the day, it's very, very important that women learn stoicism. You understand where you are able to detach your emotions from certain things. Yeah. So they don't trigger you. And you respond to these things from a place of logic and not from a place of emotions.
Exactly.
Because now when you start to respond from emotion, you now start to come down to that person's energy and this masculine energy. But when you choose to operate from your feminine, which is and stoic, when you're being stoic, it can allow you create that boundary and be assertive with whatever it is you want to do. So yeah, I think that's actually very, very possible. Yeah. And I feel like, women, we should learn to do this. Society tells you, oh, be submissive, be this, be that. Yes, be submissive, but be submissive to your husband so long as he loves you. And submission, that's another talk for another day. We're even going to go deep into the submission thing. But submission comes from being loved properly, and that is kept for your partner, your lover. But in society, whatever it is that it like whatever gift, whatever passion it is that you have and you want to go for it, radically go for it. Yeah, radically go for it. Also keeping your feminine essence, radically go for these things that you want to go for. And trust me, the sky is literally your starting point. So, Annabelle, thank you again so much for being with us. I have this wonderful conversation. Thank you for sharing your story with us. It's amazing. And yeah, guys, please do not forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all various social media platforms. And yeah, don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can always know whenever we post new episodes, okay? Thank you so much.